Hi guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Diana Romanovska and I am a certified family law specialist practicing in the Bay Area, California. Today I would like to talk about spousal support orders and how to enforce them, and specifically how to get a spousal support order to enforce. So first of all, let's say you're in need of spousal support. Then you fill out FL 300 form, check the right boxes. You don't know at this time the other spouse's income. However, you know yours, so you fill out FL 150 with attaching whatever information is needed. If you don't work, nothing. If you work, 2 last months of pay stubs. And look at your local rules if 2 years of tax returns are required to be lodged under seal. So assume you did all of that, and then what do you need to request and make sure that the order specifically states in order to have enforceable spousal support? First of all, you need to state that the spousal support is based on the base salary. So you ask for spousal support on a base salary, and if the other side receives bonus payment, then you ask the court to award an amount of support based on bonus payment. Then, and now here's the trick. If you don't say when bonus is to be paid, you can wait for years, and it's not enforceable by contempt or any other means until the divorce is finalized. So what you need to say, if the bonus payment, if the other spouse receives bonus payment every month, then you need to say bonuses to be paid within 10 days after the spouse received it. So you need to have a deadline. And ideally you want to state when spousal support should be paid. This is obvious. So for example, if he or she receives income 1st and 15th of each month, then you say payable on the 1st and 15th of each month, or if it's monthly, then monthly. Also, remember to ask the court to have the spousal support to be paid retroactive to the date that you filed. Sometimes you file a request for order and you don't get to be heard until 6 months sometimes, because the court gives you a date in 2-3 months in advance, and then he comes and asks for a continuance and another continuance. He gets one for no reason continuance, so he can ask without explanation for first continuance, and then second continuance could be asked with a good reason, and then 6 months later you haven't received spousal support. So make sure it's retroactive, including bonuses. And then a day before the judge makes a ruling, make sure to double check the local rules of that county to make sure that the tentative ruling means the judge makes a decision a day before, and then if you disagree, then you need to call the other side and the court to state that you disagree. Otherwise, it will become an order. For example, if the court forgot to say the deadline when the bonus should be paid, you need to call and have the order be clarified next day, because otherwise you cannot file a contempt motion. So then how can we enforce an order? Let's say you already got a really good order on the tentative or in court. You have the judge signed this order, you got it. So now he's not paying. What do? First, can be done through wage assignment. How do you do wage assignment? Those forms are FL 195. An explanation of the 195 form is FL 196. If you're on the other side and you are not in agreement with a wage assignment, you file the form FL 455. Second option, if it's not a spousal support order, but it's a, let's say, attorney's fee order or a property division order, and he's not paying, then you can put a lien on his property, assuming he has a property. Could be recordings through abstract of support order, or you ask the court to sell the house if it's a big enough amount that he's or she's not paying. Another option is contempt. Contempt is quasi-criminal, meaning I'd never seen that happen other than for child support, for certain on non-payment of child support. However, contempt is when you have an amount, a deadline, and lack of payment. Then you file a request for contempt. It's FL 410, 411, 412. And there are some criminal implications for not paying child support. Another way to get money from the other side, and I have done that myself, is to levy someone else's bank account. So what I do, I have the order, then I have writ of execution. For each bank account has to be a separate document in original form. I get it from the clerk's office, and then I march into sheriff's department and fill out the paperwork for each bank and pay $35 fee, and they send these documents to the bank. And in the Bay Area, most, or specifically in San Francisco, sheriff can serve all the banks except Bank of America. Bank of America is in Los Angeles, and they only have one place to get these documents, and if something is not right, it bounces back and it's a nightmare. So if you don't know which bank, what I did, I picked the 5 biggest bank, Chase, Wells Fargo, whatever the biggest bank is in your area, and send to all of them, and then receive a check by mail. So I hope that was helpful, and if you have any questions, please ask them in the comment section below. And if you like the video, click like and subscribe. Bye.